County. What's going on? Big Matt and Diamond Dean. Diamond Dean is back in the house. What's up, Dean?
Good.
We are hanging in there like a hare in a biscuit, like they say, right here in the county. Hope everybody's having a fantastic evening. I know that I am, and it's been a beautiful day. Been outside doing a little bit of things here and there. And what about you, Dean?
I didn't do nothing much. Went to the Huddle House.
Huddle House?
Yeah, pretty good.
What's going on over at the Huddle House?
Got breakfast.
The Huddle House, wow.
Yeah, they wasn't doing karaoke. Everybody does karaoke now. How many places do karaoke around here? Seriously.
There's a couple.
There's probably 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But they don't. But I know that it's done in a lot of places. But yeah, the food was good. Real good.
Well, microphone. Hold it up right to you.
Just whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tonight, guys, as you can see right here, let me move this over here out of the way just a little bit. This special episode is brought to you by the Colbert Firm. Corey and the guys and the staff over there, fantastic bunch. They do a great job over there, and they've always really been a part of what we do here at the show, and obviously, part of the county. I mean, they're just good people. So, I'd like to thank them for sponsoring this episode of the Matt and Todd Show. Today, Dean, we're going to talk to Coach Brannon. Notre Dame Alps up on Tennessee, and the Rangers. For NHA fans, the Rangers, they take a strike against the Lightning. They said fatigue.
Finals.
Yeah, they said fatigue got them. They just got tired and stuff. And
That's already out.
no, back to back, the Sooner ladies, they do it again. That was
Softball.
yes. What about them, Kolby? You you a softball fan?
I
am.
can watch some college softball now. I know that they were impressive this year. They
Yeah,
won a
too.
lot of games.
They hadn't lost many at all, had they?
57-3 was it?
Oh,
57-3,
really? Yeah,
58-3, something crazy. Oh yeah, something crazy.
Oh, God. Who beat them?
Not many people.
Patriots? Something. Falcons?
Well, they beat Texas 16. Well, sorry about that. They beat Texas 16-1 first game, and then 10-5 in the next game. Me and Dean checked out the Celtics over here the other night. The series is tied 2-2. Looks like they're going to be going back to Golden State, Dean.
Curry's hot.
Tomorrow night they will play again. The expectations are Golden State picked by 3.5 to win that game. Some more college news here. So we're talking about a little bit of college stuff there. Tim Tebow, first-time Hall of Famer. He's going to be up in that first-round class. Are you a Tebow guy?
I love Tim Tebow. Always have.
He's a great guy.
Feel like he never got a real chance in the NFL either.
No,
when he
I
did,
don't think
he put some stuff together, but never anything.
he definitely deserves a Hall of Fame, college Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Heisman Trophy.
Two-time national
champion.
Yeah.
And I actually thought he was better 1 year after he won.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
He won the Heisman as a sophomore.
Yes, had a great junior year.
I thought his junior year was fantastic. And
Yes.
he didn't win it.
Yeah, I agree. Say
they're not big on giving that out twice. I don't think they're going to.
I think they put out the vote June the 30th of next year is when the vote will be final. So we'll kind of see how that goes. And I would assume that he would get in.
Yeah, if he don't get in, that's a shame. Yeah,
Yeah,
he deserved every bit of that.
No,
There's some discrimination against him for his beliefs. I'm sorry, I know we can say that. If he don't get in, which I think he's been treated like crap because of his religious beliefs.
Yeah, sometimes
I'm sorry, I do.
There's some people that don't agree with how he chooses to live his life, and that's fine because if you read the good book, it says we're going to be persecuted and we're going to be put to the test, and he's okay with that. He ain't got a problem with that. You have to be out 10 full seasons as a player, and as a coach, you have to be removed out 3 seasons. On College More News, the Big 12 has $426 million that they will be spending this year across the board there for college football. Wow. Oklahoma and Texas soon to be headed out of the Big 12, headed to the SEC.
3 more years.
At least by 2025.
Yeah.
And maybe before. It depends on how that goes. No New Year's games on January 1 this year.
When it must be on a Sunday.
Yeah, there's going to be because you're right. So they're just going to be NFL stuff.
Is it on a Sunday?
Yes, that's correct.
That's on the.
That's why. This is going to be, I think, the first time maybe ever that we've kind of not had that. So
Yeah.
the Orange Bowl is the 30th, the Fiesta, and the peach and the sugar will all be December 31st, and the cotton will be the 2nd, and the Rose Bowl will be January 2nd. So that's some interesting college news that I like to share with everybody. Episode 141, guys. If you don't know who we are, we're just two local yahoos that love to share college sports, and of course we're going to represent our local county people. And without further ado, talking about our county people, Coach Brannon, he is in the house. He's going to be the new baseball and boys basketball coach over at Gaylesville. Played baseball for Miles, graduated in what year?
2018 for Miles.
And he finished Boaz in
2014
at Miles. So that's some of his back history, I guess, a little bit. Tell us, I guess, about your high school baseball. What was it?
Oh, again, like I told y'all before we went on here that had some success. We won 15, 16 games both years when I was at Boaz. Tough area. Southside, Etowah, Fort Payne, all were really good through those times. But God, we had a pretty solid 2 years. The 2 years I was there. Sophomore year I was ineligible, missed playing with my buddy Kyle, who's the reason I moved over there, Kyle Overstreet. So I missed getting to play with him that sophomore year, but put together 2 good years over there.
Yeah.
Did you play basketball over there too?
Did not just baseball once I moved to Boaz.
Now, what about? I guess we'll skip forward a little bit. And after he went to Miles and had some successful years over there, there's some teammates that stand out to you that you remember well playing there at Miles.
So many. Zay Burden, who's the best man in my wedding.
Okay.
Ryan Bardry, another one in my wedding, and all of us we still have a group message to this day, us 3.
Wow.
That always my kids love it when they get to see Zay. It's always they're all excited.
Where are they from?
Zay he went down to Charles Henderson down south.
Yep.
And Ryan was from up in Tennessee. They now live in Gardendale. So anytime we get to go back and see either of them, the kids get excited because he's got a little boy named Knox, a little bit younger than Brady. Mm-hmm. So still keep in touch with them. And those 2, man.
Now, Anonymous Tip was telling me your sister taught you everything about basketball. Is there any?
Yeah, we need to confirm or deny.
Is there anything to that? I don't know who it was. Sounded like a woman.
Yeah, we have.
Call
in the show.
Of all the stuff, I guess she could have taught me. Speed was not the one thing she ever taught me, and to this day, I'm still mad at her about that one. Yeah, and I hope she's listening because my son's at her house right now, so she needs to be teaching him.
Yeah,
because he's struggling from the same thing I am. So,
I'm sure she's listening. So you wasn't too fast.
Never.
Right?
She was. A lot of medals and tracks, 4 state championships.
Yeah.
Never got that part of it. Never came to me.
We started to. We were gonna do a list of top female athletes.
She's definitely on there
from Cedar Bluff, and I know for a fact she was in her top 3.
Absolutely.
She was a good one. But again, the speed, I'm still mad at everything. She got every bit of it in our family.
Really?
Took every bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad was good at softball, wasn't he?
He was.
Now, where was your mom? Was she from Gadsden?
She did. She graduated from Miss Anson.
Okay. I thought so. I thought she did.
Well, with traveling now, you came from over at Valley Head, and you can tell us a little bit about being over there. Made some connections and the kids and things you had going over there. You can tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Got over there. I don't think I've ever had such a hard time leaving a place. The principal over there, Mr. Dupree, absolutely amazing. It's, I cannot thank him enough for all that he did for me while I was there. Andrew Isbell was the boys basketball coach they brought in. He was actually hired after I was. Mm-hmm. And I tell him now, he's only a year older than me, but he was kind of like my mentor for the basketball stuff, what we do now.
Right.
And it was more than just working together. Me and him, best friends, still talk every day. I think that was the hardest thing, was having to tell him that I was leaving.
Right.
and he knew that. The basketball coach, it was one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
I think I've had to do is tell him, because like I said, me and him, best friends, love him to death.
Right.
And there's some of the kids over there, that group they got that's going to be seniors.
Yep.
Ian Bain is one of them.
He's a good back.
Oh my gosh.
Good. He's like catching a greased rabbit.
Really
he is such a good kid. Loved coaching him. Loved spending time with him up there. And what's going to be a junior, the principal's son, Colby Dupree, another one who's a phenomenal athlete, just good kid. And then with the girls, some of the softball players I had a great junior class last year. Softball was tough for us, but they came every day, smile on their face, ready to roll. Emma Harrison, Christy Coker, Jenna McKenzie. God, I know I'm going to leave somebody off and they're going to text me and want to kill me. But
You didn't mention
just never had such a hard time leaving a place. It was tough. And
that they should have a very good football team this year.
They should.
I think. I don't know.
Anytime you got the Bain kid back there, it's
there's
it's going to be tough.
One, right?
There's a younger one coming up. He's going to be a sophomore this year.
They say he's better. That's just word, but I can't imagine anybody being much better than Ian. I'm sure this.
I don't know. I'm not going to say either or.
Yeah.
Because I'll get a message from Ian regardless of what I say.
You shouldn't have said that.
And I just know how competitive Ian is.
Yeah.
And his brother is. His brother's going to be a good athlete too.
Well, now I went to a game last year and heard that somebody in the stands told me. I don't even know who the guy was.
He is. He's a very good athlete as well. But again, that last name Bain, they're all good athletes and can play.
Well, you hear that about a lot. You hear that every time there's a guy that's good that's got a younger brother, and they used to say that about the McPherson, his younger brother. And I had somebody pretty close to them said he's good, but he's not as good as the one that kicks for the Bengals. That he's the real deal. Nobody will ever be as good as him from over there. And that's more hard. It's hard to believe there's somebody better than the guy that's kicking for the second best team in the NFL.
Yeah, that's
in the same town.
That'd be tough. That's hard shoes to fill.
Yeah, very.
Well, now on to the new stint. Now, like we said, you'll be doing. Let's talk about boys basketball first, I guess. About some of the guys, you got some coming back, and that's always good to have some coming back. And I think you got some more playing that maybe didn't play last year. So that's definitely a good thing. So tell us about that a little.
So many we had that needed to be out there last year, and I didn't even realize it. You don't realize it. And, you hear about them. The Eads kid, Tanner Eads, you hear about some of these kids, and you're like, yeah, well, they're not out here. Maybe it's for a reason or whatever. And then you come out here this summer, and their first practice, I'm looking around, and I'm like, my gosh, where were these guys? They needed to be out here, and these guys can play. And I'm going to have, at least, assuming everything works out, again, we're still a long way from basketball season. So much can happen between now and then. Assuming everything works out, have 2 or 3 guys, starters, who didn't play last year.
Right.
And that alone just changes everything when you start looking around. But kids that I've got to be around so far, great kids. They had our first true practice the other day. Went for 2 hours. For an hour and a half. I told them, it's going to be a little different this year. The running's going to be different. Practice is going to be different. Everything we do is full court. It's 100 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And at about 9:30, so I was like, all right, it's time for conditioning. And Cooper Bradley, won't never forget it. He looked at me and Cooper said, Coach, we've done an hour and a half of conditioning. What do you mean we're just now doing conditioning?
So you got this style of play from
I did.
From Valley Hill.
And it's all from, we run the system that they run. And again, it's Andrew Isbell up there. God love him to death. And we always joke, Gaylesville's ran a 2-3 for years, and it's not going to be that way this year. But I've told him we don't have them on the schedule right now, but we're supposed to try to play them in a summer game. And I've told him our first possession we're going to run a 2-3, and he told me we're going to fight when we do. So, we joke about it all the time. I'm like, hey, we're not going to run it unless it's against you. Then we're just going to set up in it one time and just to make you mad. But it's going to be a little different for them. They saw on Wednesday we had our first summer games, and
every time I ran 2-3 as a coach, you get shot out of it.
Is that what happens? Yeah,
well, it's a good defense.
He's the basketball. He's up there at Chattooga doing that thing. I know a little, but
Well, yeah. You have to hit from you need to hit from that.
So what's the way to? So you're not playing a 2-3. So what is your style then? What do you?
Well,
you don't have to tell me. You want to break?
I'm not going to say too much. A lot of our stuff, though, again, coming from Valley Head. People have seen them play on film.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit faster. We're going.
Okay.
We're going to do things a little faster. The kids so far have bought into this point. They love it. I know they got a little more freedom this year than they've had in the past.
Right.
And they've surprised me. They shot more in that one practice. They'll tell you they shot more threes in that one practice than they've shot since they've been over there. And
no, I know Cedar Bluff, when Valley Head and Cedar Bluff met in the, I guess the area, that Valley Head hit 12 threes. And that pretty much was the difference in the ball game.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Cedar Bluff hit 4 or 5 maybe, and Valley Head hit 12.
Wow. Last year, that's how we were. We were hit and miss. I know at Gaylesville last year in the first quarter, we scored 35 points. And I don't know how many threes we hit throughout the game, but my gosh, we were on fire that night. And just absolutely hitting everything we shot.
I talked to a boy from Cedar Bluff about that Valley Head game. I said, "What y'all run?" He goes, "It didn't matter what we ran.
Yeah.
Man, they hit threes. Zone, they hit threes. Trapping, they hit threes." So
They
when you're hot, you're hot, you know.
That's what Jerry Lewis said.
When you're hot, you're hot. Oh, yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Jerry Ray, yeah.
It's good when we were hitting shots last year.
So
when we were hitting shots last year, it was good. And you don't hit shots, it's tough.
They won some games, though, did they not? Mm-hmm. Valley Head did.
We did double-digit wins again.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is. And I mean, today's game in the NBA, wouldn't you agree? I mean, we watched Steph go off for the night, and he gets hot. I mean, they're winning the game. Now, but when they get cold, they start missing shots, then they're not.
And I would think as a coach against that, you would just hope they miss a little bit.
That's not. I mean, really. I mean, what do you do? Like Alabama, you see how they play. You know, they shoot, and the coach and Nate just
stop people.
He just comes down. They just start shooting, and they don't let up.
And that's with the style we're playing now. It's part of the goal. Get down there. If you get up 90 shots, you can shoot a little lower percentage, and it's going to make a difference. 40%. You don't have to shoot 40 and 50% if you shoot it that much.
You're going to score 200 points.
That's the difference on that. We won't get into the LeBron and Jordan thing. I'm not going to get fired up about that tonight. LeBron's scoring all the points. Of course, he's played longer, than anybody in like the history of the game. But the points that he makes, they're points made at the rim. Okay, when you're scoring all your points at the rim, you're not shooting those mid ranges. Michael was more into shooting that mid range spot than he was. Just not saying he didn't dunk the ball, but it wasn't as highlighted. Yeah, right. So that
mid range shot's kind of gone out.
That's what we do. I told them, mid range shot. It's just there's no point in it now. It's you can get to the rim, shoot threes. Mid range kind of becomes a little more useless, and that's if you look at. I love Larry Bird, and I tell people all the time. Imagine if he was shooting the number of threes these guys are now.
Oh,
there's no telling what he could have done.
Now, how much closer is it now than it was when Larry Bird played? 3 feet? Is it 3 feet closer? So let me check on that. I know it used to be. They used to never shoot threes because it was so far. Let me see what it's changed. I want to say it's.
I don't know.
NBA 3-point. It's not as college is 19 feet 9 inches, just like high school, I guess. 3-point line. Let's see. It goes to
well, that do you think here's
2 feet 3 inches.
Here's maybe a dumb question for you, Coach. If they made a 4-point line, do you think we talk about that on here some? If there was a 4-point line, would they just would everybody start shooting from that?
I know the way we practice, the way we do things. If they could create a 4-point line, some of my guys would be thrilled because they have. I mean, I don't know how the other way to describe it. Then I've taken the reins completely off of them, right. And they're rolling with it, and that's just how we plan on trying to play. Again, last year at Valley Head, he took a team that had won 3 games, like the past however many years combined. It's been bad.
Yeah.
He comes in, Isbell comes in last year, and we institute this new thing, the kids buy in, and we won double-digit games.
Right.
And that's another thing. I feel like nowadays so many coaches try to go find the best situation to coach in. Mm-hmm. It's not about, hey, let's go help some kids somewhere. It's, hey, where's the best situation? He came from Fort Payne, so he was over there in a great situation. Didn't hesitate on taking the job at a school like that, and completely just changes everything for the program.
It's a lot. I mean, that goes on a lot, but it is tempting. I want to coach kids that can play or kids that are on the line, on the verge of being able to play good. But, and there are some guys that Well, I'm not coaching anybody unless they're very talented. You know.
Yeah, that's when you really got to think,
I don't know.
what am I doing? You know, what is my, you know, and I know what you're doing. You want to be more impactful as with them as humans and not just as players. I mean, coaching the game is the aspect of what you want to do, because it's always about winning and losing games. However, there's other, you know, things about just being winners in life and those kind of things that you want to pass along to them. You know, tell us about that kind of stuff. What are you looking to, you know, being a young coach and you kind of put your thumbprint on something, and we would hope you'd stay over there for a while, and I'm sure they would hope you would stay.
This is my third head coaching job, and people always ask me, you know, like, why do you keep doing this to yourself? This is the third coaching job, third school I've been at that hadn't had a winning season in however many years. It's always that way, and I tell them to me it's more, you can make it more yours if you're going and taking over a program that has struggled in recent years.
Right.
Whereas you go take over a place that they're coming off, you know, 20, 25 wins.
Right.
And you're just kind of going off what happened the year before, and I mean, that's how it's supposed to be at those kind of schools. But coming to Gaylesville is just another place where I feel like, hey, I'm finally back close to home. Mm-hmm. I'm in the county. Me and my wife finally being in the same county is huge. However, she'll probably get tired of me having the same breaks all the time. But being back in the county, able to go into a place, and hopefully they'll keep me there for a long time. I'm not looking to run off. I was at Gaston.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just being able to be somewhere to where these kids know me, where, you know, each year in and out, hopefully now they'll know what to expect. They'll know what's expected of them. And again, you get to go in and you're starting fresh. You're not going in with 20, 25 wins saying, all right, if we do this, is it really my coaching or is it what's happened in the past? Like, I know if we turn something around, I've done something right now.
Right.
And that's how I like the challenge. It makes it more fun. These kids have seen how much I care. Other day, God, I'd run with them. If that ain't showing how much I care about them, then I don't know what is, because I almost died.
You can still do that. I don't think I can do that.
He ain't gonna do that.
I mean, I did. I almost.
At football,
I've never seen a coach do that.
I've worked out with them at football. Run. Yeah. When I would get on to them, they're in trouble for whatever. You got to run a lap. I would run with them and talk to them while run. This is why you're in trouble. You know, I just want you to pay attention, and I'm spending my time with you, and here's because I love you, man. You know, I want you to learn something while you're out here. So yeah. Well, you get involved with them.
You could have 10 years ago. Not
now. No, I'm 45 but now. I was like, 30 then. You know, I could.
How old are you, Kyle?
I'm 26.
26.
Yeah. Yeah, you're at prime age. Probably used men 20 ages of 25 and 30. Yeah. I was at my strongest, gym wise than I ever was.
I did.
Those ages.
Didn't feel strong the other day.
Oh, so it was rough on you?
Oh man, it was rough.
Yeah, now that running though. That's what I need to be doing more of, but unfortunately I don't. My knees hurt, and I can sit here and make excuses why I don't run a lot, but it is what it is.
They say it ain't good for you.
Yeah,
walking fast.
Yeah, like one year, like eating boiled eggs. I heard this again on the radio. Is and now it's bad again. You heard that? It was good, then it was bad, then it's good. Now I've read again that it's bad again. So
start making them walk fast, Kolby.
Yeah, yes. Like the old lady, mall walk.
Yeah, I might could keep up then.
The mall walk.
First couple of the day, I was with them and trying to push them. The last few, I was still pushing them, but I was doing it from the back. I was struggling.
And I know Nap has a pretty good conditioning program too.
He does.
So
yeah, he works some.
Should be. But basketball shape and football shape is two different things.
It is.
It is, and that's
I don't know why, but it just is.
No, you're you're playing more it's more longevity,
more
I think.
bursts.
And in basketball you're trying to make it for the long haul. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean football too, I don't want to say that, but it's a play and then your break. It's a play, then it's your break. It's a play and a break and a play and a break.
And it was really good for us because when we had one practice before we had our games Wednesday, and I don't even really call it a practice. It was more of me trying to figure out where am I going to put everybody.
Yeah. Right.
Because I knew we played. So it was good for us to see Wednesday the shape that we need to get into. Mm-hmm. Because through 15 minutes, I mean, we had Gaston down 11, and we looked like a whole new team. Mm-hmm. And then we hit that wall of, hey, we ain't quite in shape yet.
Right.
So, and they hit it, and they realized it. So at practice, the next practice we had, they were like, hey, now we see why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah,
because we got to get to that.
Think that running,
we have to get to that level.
I think a lot of kids think running's just, ridiculous, or why are they doing this?
Yep, all kids are going to say that. Most all.
Just a kid.
And the best thing, though, that I had was we played back-to-back. Played 2 20-minute halves, and then played Gaston, and then turned around and had to play again right after with no break. And right there at the end of that second game, I turned around to them one time and asked them how tired they were. And some were dying. And they were like, Coach, we're tired, but we want to keep playing. Like, we're loving this right now. And to me, that meant more than anything, because they're wanting to be out there. They're wanting to do it again. And that's where it starts, because if they don't want to be out there, then what are we really ever going to get accomplished?
Yeah, but I think believing, that's a big part of, it's a big part of everything, and just trying to get them out there, getting them together. Of course, that's a big part of it, but once they get to playing and these practices, they can see how your level of care, when they're saying, hey, he's bought in with us, and kids can tell when you're not, and you're just kind of over there going through the motions.
They know. I don't
tell.
think the kids, and sometimes, and you've probably been in this situation, I know I have, you get in situations where you really don't know what to do. And I'm sure the kids see that, but they forget about that. But if they know you don't care, when that happens, they just despise those coaches if they don't care.
I think they've learned. I'm a little fiery during games. Last year, I always told people getting to be the assistant coach during basketball season last year, I got to be the good guy. And I could sit back and just kind of let Coach Isbell have them and let him go off. And they saw the day. I'm a little fiery. I'm all over the place on the sideline. They were laughing at me by halftime. I had lost my voice already the first game,
really?
and they got to laughing at me about it. But I mean, I love it.
Who's your assistant?
Kurt Hendon.
Yeah, he's my cousin.
Okay, yeah, and God, he's done so much.
Middle school boys too.
We have somebody doing the middle school boys. Okay. Right now, we're all practicing together. We're all going. I want them learning it now, so when they come.
Is Jeff doing the?
Is Jeff Nelson?
He's doing the girls. He's doing girls. So
okay,
he's got them.
How's he liking that so far? I know you can't speak for him, but I seen him over there the other day, and he seemed like it was going pretty good. The first day had a lot of girls.
He did.
He told us a lot.
He had a ton of girls out there. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I walked in the gym, and I was like, wow. It just blew me away how many girls he had out there. He seems to be enjoying it. Love him to death. He's such a good guy.
He's full of all kind of. He's just got that dad knowledge.
He does.
You can ask him stuff, and he just. He knows. He's been around, and he's done a lot of different stuff. And of course, Jim. We'll get into baseball. I guess that'll help roll us over to baseball. And this is what.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about.
Me and Dean's
the main thing he loves.
We talked about last week. Got Coach Short over at Samurai. Do you know him? Sort of, some, not really.
Don't know him super well. I know of him.
Yeah, he nice guy, young, really passionate. He's a practice oriented. We have stations. You're doing things. You're working constantly. That's how I like station stuff. Okay, you got him, and he's a young coach. All right, then we go across over here to center. Spent a long time in the dugout over there with Coach Smith. He's gone now. So we got Coach Henderson there that was an assistant last year that also helps with football. Was at Ohatchee, played college baseball. I knew I'd forget. He played as you, same, young guy, fiery, very good at details. Coach Henderson is a dude, like, you go in the equipment part of the dugout, and like there's labels for like the field rake. There's labels for where the chalk goes. There's labels to where the spoon goes to put the bases in. I mean, very OCD. Yeah. All right. And you go over to you're at Gaylesville now, and you go over to Spring Garden. Well, Cole, I mean, we know very well, watched you play as a kid. Like we watched you play at a younger age, and, really young, played college ball. And then we're going to roll across the bridge to Cedar Bluff. And you got Jim. And Jim is kind of the old guy sort of in the county. It's just a very strange, me personally and Todd watching. But we watched him play, him and Garrett.
29.
We watched him play we watched them play.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot. So that's kind of where our county is right now. And if y'all just running by the channel, Big Matt, Diamond Dean, we cover local stuff. And today we have a special guest on, Coach Brannon from Gaylesville. And we taking the basketball boys and the baseball job. And if you ever, what you need to do, Dean, what do they have to do to
subscribe?
I mean, that's all you got to do. You just subscribe to the channel and stay up to date. And when college stuff starts kicking off, we'll have lots and lots of college news. We shared a little bit at the first of the show. But kind of getting into baseball now, that transition. Coach Nelson, he's the OG in the county. And
Not Jeff, Jim.
Yeah, it's kind of so. Jim pretty well.
I do.
So tell us a little bit about Jim, man.
God, 3 years ago, I guess I graduated in December, and as a teacher, that's almost impossible to find a job right there in December. So I actually filled a long-term substitute spot at Cedar Bluff. Jim asked me to do baseball, and I was beyond excited about it. Obviously, Jim graduated with my sister. Right. Know him real well, and I got out there and he did. He helped me through stuff, and love him to death.
You were doing a long-term sub. Oh, okay.
And speaking of his sister, we'll run that across the screen there. They're Bend the Bar Fitness over here at the center. You can get a hold of her, 996-3750 or 256-484-7104. Matt and Jessica, they run the Bend the Bar Fitness over there. We had to throw that in. I mean, it is his sister, guys. Come on, we got to put it in.
She likes her food, don't she?
Oh yes, she does. Oh yes.
So with Jim, you kind of went over there and helped around and dug around with that, and of course, Coach Crane was around. You kind of get to know him more, and so now, is there something maybe that styles of yours that you like of your own kind of styles differ from Jim or whatever? Somebody that you got to be around over there, and tell us about your baseball style, maybe. Or
it's
are you the rah-rah? I guess what I'm saying is, I was always the stand on the third base guy, and I get into it, and I get onto him. I'm the stop and the go, and some coaches ain't. They just kind of have a plan, and I was always the kind of coach that one out. If the game's close, one out, I'm sending runners. I'll eat it. If I make a mistake, I've had to tell many kids come back when they're out at home. It's my fault. Don't be upset. It's on me. But one out, I'm the sending them kind of guy. Is that same kind of, or are you more chill, or?
It's so hard to tell with all my stuff. I'm so in the middle of so many things. As far as base running goes, we are super aggressive. That's something that's what I believe in. It's funny because I'm slow as I'll get out, so I was never able to be that way.
Okay, same.
So I guess that's because I have to make up for it with
exactly
other
right.
people.
That's what I say. Yep.
But it's so hard. My styles. I like to blend the old school, new school stuff. I'm real big on launch angle, exit velo, and all that new stuff going around today. But I'm also big on small ball, getting bunts down, moving runners, doing little things.
It's I've lost some small ball games. It really hurts.
And it's nothing.
Small ball hurts.
Nothing makes me any more angry than nowadays in the major leagues. They do runner on second, and when a team don't score in the top of the inning, that team in the bottom of the inning, bunt the runner over. It's not that difficult. Instead, they're going to let all three swing. Like that little stuff like that sometimes bothers me. But I am still heavy on the new school stuff. Obviously, I feel bad for my son. He gets all this fed in his ear. He can tell you what launch angle and exit velo are now.
Oh, he already knows.
And he knows, like...
No, look, man, we see him on videos. I see him out there smashing the ball.
He's a good athlete.
Let me tell you, Dean. Now, I'm not just saying this because he's here. I mean, I'm not that kind of... If I didn't think this, I just wouldn't bring it up. And I've seen a lot of kids swing a bat. And I've given a lot of good hitting lessons. I think I did. He's got a different kind of swing, man. He don't swing like a little kid. He gets it. And I know he's got a good dad that helps coach him, but I'm telling you, some of that you can't coach.
You can't. And
some of it you just can't. He's swinging for the fence. He has the way he gets his hands around to the ball. And I'm analyzing a little kid hitting the ball. I know it sounds stupid, but you do too. And I did with my son. His backside in. It's really good.
He's
good.
just a mess. He watches, baseball nonstop. He loves it. Yesterday he had travel ball practice. I coached his travel ball team 8 to 10 in the morning. Came home, we ate. He immediately wanted to play baseball on the PlayStation. So he plays it for a little bit. Maybe 30 minutes. He's like, Dad, we got to go hit again.
He's ready to go outside and hit.
And so we go outside and we hit again for another 45 minutes. And it's hot. And I'm miserable. And I'm like, Brady, like, it's hot.
Yeah, it is.
It's 12
So
now.
he comes back in and eats. He wants to go play football in his room. He knocks me around a little bit. Then he gets ready. And he's like, hey, Dad, let's go eat supper. We go to McDonald's. We're sitting at McDonald's. His sun's starting to go down. And I'm like, okay, finally, there's no more going to be outside. He goes, Dad, can we go hit?
Chill.
He's like, can we go hit
You got
at the Little League field?
Now and then.
And I just couldn't tell him no. I'm like, yeah, Brady, if you want to work, man, let's go. And we stayed out there until he physically could not see the ball anymore.
Yeah.
And we got home last night. I'm like, please tell me you're done. He's like, yeah, Daddy, I'll take a shower. I'll get in bed now. I'm like, thank goodness, man. He's just all he does.
And I know it seems like a lot, but just from old dad experience, what you're going through, do it, man.
And I do it
You got 2 children?
I do. I tell people all the time, it's so hard with my daughter. She does cheer.
Yeah.
And she does all-star cheer. She's working on a back tuck right now at 7 years old. And I'm like, I have to help Brady because if I go do a back tuck, I'll be in the hospital.
Right.
And I tell her all the time, she'll come off the mat or whatever, and I'm like, hey, Easton, you don't see me do that? She's like, Daddy, you can't do that.
So it's Kaylee
I'm like,
help her.
I don't even know if Kaylee can help her at this point. It's all she stays at the gym up there at Victory just nonstop.
Much, right?
So it's just no way we can help her. I'm like, Easton, I love you, but I can't do that. I'll be in the hospital.
We'll just stand from the side. Yeah, good girl. Fantastic job.
And you start teaching her.
Yeah, I will for sure.
Get that on YouTube.
You'll get that. You'll hear about that quick if I start trying to help her out.
Yeah, there ain't much you can do for her.
No, and again, Joey, everything with Brady, cause it'll be like it'll feel like 2 or 3 years goes by, and he'll be 12.
No, it's already like that. I mean,
he'll be 13, and then you'll do what I did with Ethan and Dakota. You'll coach your last summer of baseball like 13U, and they tear off into junior high baseball. And I mean, with you coaching, it'll be different. But man, enjoy it.
It is.
Enjoy it. Mine's 19, and he's school and work, and I don't hardly see him a lot, and he's just here and there. So enjoy every second of it.
And that's like I said with my daughter. It's God, it's so much fun watching her do that because she loves it. And it just amazes me because, Brady with baseball, I'm like, yeah, Brady, I'm glad you're doing that. That's what I expect. That's what I've taught you to do. But with her, I haven't been able to teach her.
Yeah,
she's doing all these different lessons and stuff, and I'm just blown away because I can't do it. It's Easton. And so like I said, she played ball last year and was very good at baseball. She played baseball in 6U, did a great job. And then she gets in the chair, and I'm like, how do you do this? And how do you pick up on it this quick?
Wow. Well, I mean, just some people has it. And
she comes off, and her mom will get onto her because her mom understands it more than I do. And I'm like, how do you get onto her? That was awesome. She's like, well, her timing was off. And I'm like, no, that was cool. I can't do it.
We're looking at the Hey Dude podcast.
He's 5.
We're looking at it like the Dude Perfect videos. That day, it's like, wow, that was really cool. I mean, I can't do that. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was
you
pretty
don't
cool.
get out there. No, you didn't land right.
Yeah, no.
All that.
I'm just like, wow, that's.
I'm lucky to hit a forward roll the right way, and she's doing all this stuff. I tried to do a cartwheel, and she'll just make fun of me.
I can trip well, and I can fall in the yard. I'm good at that.
Now we know Colby's huge Matt Ryan fan. I mean,
no, I'm not either. Yeah.
Now, do you have another quarterback you do like though?
I do.
I know you're a Tom Brady.
I am. Obviously, my kid's name's Brady, so it's hard to say I don't. I'm overly obsessed. My man cave has a Tom Brady wall. So if I could do a show like this, I'd do it in front of it.
Yeah.
Tom Brady bobbleheads, everything.
Do you care anything about any of the other quarterbacks?
I do. Mac Jones.
You Aaron Rodgers, Mac Jones.
Look, I admire Aaron Rodgers. He's great. Can't stand him. I got buddies who are going to text me after this, but I can't believe he said that
That's
on air.
Okay. That's okay.
I don't even think. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I don't think that the management up in Green Bay likes it.
I don't know if he likes himself.
They didn't do anything.
And that's the biggest thing is for years with Tom Brady in New England, loved him to death. Couldn't see his personality. You got Belichick. Everything's done behind closed doors.
Right.
So getting to see him come down to Tampa, seeing his personality now makes it that much more fun for me.
Great. We think he's to go.
But I do. Mac Jones. Mac Jones. Love Mac Jones.
Yeah, I like his. He works hard. He reminds me a little bit of Tom.
Yes, and a lot of it is the style of quarterback play that I like. I was a slow quarterback when I played football.
Right,
So
right.
slow quarterbacks now I like.
Yeah.
And again, I still Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts, Alabama guy. So that's
He's
that.
gotten a little better, hasn't he?
And still, oh God, there's so many guys. Jimmy G over in San Francisco. I know they're trying so hard. Yeah, nobody really likes him right now, but I love Jimmy G. I mean, we like him in our house.
I think that who's the quarterback? I think
Who wound up at Buffalo? We talked about.
Oh yes, Allen.
Josh Allen.
I like him. Man.
I like Josh Allen a lot.
I liked
too.
him in college. Really like him a lot.
He's through there. Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he's good.
Matt Ryan. Don't necessarily love him, but
no.
Well, he's gone now. Where's he at now?
Indianapolis. And
Dude,
again,
their quarterback.
he is. Again, I don't love him, but
I like him as a guy. I mean, he's probably a cool guy to hang out with, but he's just. And so maybe some of it is, the system. I don't know when Sark was going and coming and between Bama and Atlanta, and they had the lead, and we all know the story and how he blew, but dude, they were 5-step dropping him in situations like they were up at halftime, but that's not his fault. Yeah. He's running the plays that he's been given.
And I can look through there. It's so bad that I'm just.
What about Dak? How's he going to be this year?
Look, I saw this Cowboys pillow when I sat down.
It's just.
Listen,
not a big
it's a running joke. My kid's mom, her boyfriend, we're real good friends. He's a huge Cowboys fan. So we just don't like the Cowboys. My son, my daughter, they all give him a hard time.
Is that yours?
No.
Where did we get it? I don't know. I'm not either, really. It's just like half this stuff. People that look around in the room, you 49ers. Yeah, Todd loves 49ers. Saints.
I wear 49er stuff, but I'm not a 49er fan.
I like Drew Brees when he was at, so I picked up Seahawks and the Eagles. Dude, these flags are like fire. I'm just trying to decorate a room. I mean, I got Karate Kid stuff over here. I love that show.
Well, I tell people all the time, my son, he's real big in sports, anything. I mean, and I feel like with him, he's given me like a more appreciation for these guys that are just great athletes.
Right.
Because for so long I was, man, it's Tom Brady. Like, that's it.
Baseball. You didn't care
Baseball. I was Braves. I didn't care about anything else. Football, it was Tom Brady. Nothing else.
So he's opened your eyes to some other.
Well, he's just he's such. I mean, like I said, he loves it, and if you're good, he loves you. I mean, that's just how it is.
That's good.
And he wears 17 during the summer for Shohei Ohtani, and. Again, he's just opened my eyes to all these guys. And I'm like, maybe we should just appreciate greatness. So I have so much stuff now in my house from all different athletes.
You can still have a great.
Mahomes, I don't necessarily care for him, but you got to appreciate what he's done.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's changed the game from the way he plays it.
Oh God, yeah, most definitely.
And just God, I can look up there and name
so
many people.
Here's a question: since
all 32,
that's so many that I just
who's going to be at the Bears this year? Before I get off, before I go.
I don't know, Fields.
Fields.
That's right. Yes. That's how much we watch it. We do a little as the season goes on. Mm-hmm. We'll share. We'll share news of the scores, and we'll talk a little bit NFL. But mostly people here they want to talk about.
Yeah,
college.
I'm one of the weird ones down here, and I know that
they want to talk about college.
I'm an NFL guy through and through.
You got Wilson, Mariota, Tannehill,
Chargers.
Herbert.
Yeah.
I can name them all. We ain't got time.
Well, Cleveland. Now, I don't.
I guess Watson or Mayfield.
It's going to have to be.
I don't know.
I would like to think it's going to have to be Mayfield with all the stuff with Watson because I think he's going to have a suspension. So
yeah, I mean,
heck, if you're Baker though, do you want to play there after the way they've kind of pushed him to the side?
I do not know who Seattle's quarterback is.
Right now, I don't know if they really have one.
And I don't know who Washington's is. I thought that Heineke was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did he go somewhere else?
As far as I know, that he's still there.
Wentz is going to be their quarterback.
It'll be Wentz. It should be.
Don't be shocked if that other guy plays.
No, the Vikings.
We know who the Buccaneers quarterback is.
I don't know that guy. Who's that guy?
He might not win it. I don't know.
What about the line?
Win it.
With Stafford being gone and had playing the Rams, who was up there last year at
Goff.
See,
like I said, I
liked him.
I'm a weird one. I know down here it's college through and through.
It is.
But I am NFL crazy.
Is there any chance he loses his job? Possibly he could.
Oh, that guy at Tampa Bay. Wait, I ain't getting there.
You gonna play with these people?
We're just glad he's back because I mean, me and my son went to a game last year in Atlanta, and I told him I was like, Brady, enjoy this.
Yeah.
Probably the only time you get to watch him play.
Right.
And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I cried like a baby when he told me when he said he was retiring.
Yeah.
That kills me because that's my guy.
Sure.
I mean, since I was 4 years old, since I was my son's age, he's been the quarterback somewhere.
Yes.
Can't count him out.
And
kind of weird.
When he came back, I was thrilled. The first person I called was my son. I was like, Brady, we're going again. We get to watch him again. I have a video of him from last year when Tom Brady came out of the tunnel. We sat on that end of the stadium, and Brady was just mesmerized. Didn't blink,
like
mouth didn't move. He was just stopped in his tracks and froze.
If you could ever
to think of a time that Brady just didn't do nothing.
If you could ever get him off to the side, I mean, which will never. I mean, the chances of that are minuscule. If you could get Tom to the side, he seems like the kind of guy he would probably just sit there. He would
talk with you.
He would probably chat with you, and especially your son. I mean, he seems like that kind of guy. I may be wrong.
He's not. He's 43 now, about to be 44 or 44. No, he's 44, about to be 45. Yeah, he's about to be.
He's a year behind
What
me.
is the oldest the player's ever been in the NFL?
Yeah, period at all. I don't know.
He's got to be knocking on that. Of course, I don't think they were.
It's got to be. Yeah, well, back in the day, I mean, geez, man.
Who was it? Blanda, maybe?
Blanda, yeah.
He played a little bit of quarterback, but a lot of them have been kickers that make it that long.
Here's since we on NFL question. What's the deal with Cam Newton went out and said, did you see what he said? That he's better than 32 other quarterbacks in the league right now.
Oh, I thought he said he was the worst.
No. No, Cam's never going to say that.
Oh, I thought he said, I'm the 32nd best quarterback in the league.
No, he's better than any of the other 32. And he was on the podcast with the other guys. And I've watched some of their podcasts. And they did one with Shaq that was good. I liked it. And the other guy just called him out. The guy with the long dreads just said, Cam, are you insane? Are you kidding right now? He's like, no, man, you know why? He said, man, I'm just as good as the other 32. What do you think?
Cam was another one of those. He came to New England for a year. And if you play New England as a quarterback, I'm going to have your jersey. That's just how I am. I love the Patriots still, even though Tom's going to still love them. And he's one of those. I felt like when he came out of college that it was only going to be, a certain amount of years he can really make it just because of the style of his play and the way he played. And truly in the pocket, he's above average, I guess you could say, maybe.
He is.
But he has declined at that aspect. But, I mean...
He's not even their quarterback, is he?
And, I mean, I guess I'd have to say...
He lost games at Carolina.
He didn't win a game last year.
I might can pick two teams that I'd be like, okay, I could see him playing over their quarterback. Because sometimes I look at situations at some of these places, I'm like, how'd you end up with that as your starting quarterback? Yeah. But, I mean, I can also name probably, 29 teams that he has no business being a starting quarterback on.
Yeah, I don't know why he would say that. Like, I'm just as good as 32.
Brady's going to be fifth.
He couldn't.
Blanda's 48. There are four guys, 46. You say he's fixing to be.
He should be 45. I think he'll be 45 this year.
He's going to be 45. I can tell you his birthday. I know it's bad.
When is his birthday?
August 3rd. So okay. I'm obsessed with Tom, so that's...
Yes, because he might stay to he's 48. That'd be tough, so.
So I'm 4 months older than Tom.
I'd say he'll play a couple more years, though, wouldn't you?
We were both born in 77.
Could you imagine being a quarterback on a pro team right now?
What? I couldn't be quarterback on a high school team.
I don't know if I could handle it on a C team right now.
Y'all can do some pickup ball and play quarterback next Sunday. Y'all need to do that.
I make a do some 12U. Like stiff arms. Get off me.
I don't want to have a tag football game next Sunday.
I don't know.
I don't know. My son hit me in his room a few times yesterday. I didn't feel like getting up. So I don't know.
I think he's going to go for that record.
We may do it. If there's anybody
That's
could do
it. Deal.
Well, the thing with health and nutrition now is it's substantial to what it used to be. There's no doubt
that have to quit.
There's no doubt that Tom Brady eats better than Joe Montana did. Now, Joe Montana's our guy because of our age. I grew up in the 80s, and I watched this guy in the 49ers, just assassin, super smart like Tom, just
really big and good in the big game.
Knew the defense before they did. When they got lined up, Joe already knew, just like Tom, what was going on. And I love Peyton Manning. I love hearing him call his cadences out at the line of scrimmage and off the camera. Man, Peyton is great. He does funny commercials, those Nationwide's on your side or whatever. I mean, he's funny. I like Peyton too. But I'm a Montana fan just by nature because of our age. And I like Tom. And Tom is due. Jesus, man. I mean, the respect to know that he's won all these games. So how could you not say he's the best to do it?
We think Tom Brady and Jerry Rice are the greatest.
Because he's a winner. And that's not a knock against.
No, I think he can pass Jerry Rice. I think Jerry Rice was great.
Not against LeBron, but he's failed in a lot of those large games. That's why LeBron is not, to me, not mean he's not good. That's always the debate you get into. It's like, no, man, LeBron is great, but like Tom and Joe, they're winners.
Do you think Brady's passed Jerry Rice? Jerry Rice was considered the greatest.
It's so hard.
A lot of that's because he's got so many young.
Well, but that's two different positions.
It's so hard to me when you start comparing a lot of these guys. Obviously, if you compare quarterbacks, that's one thing, but comparing with a receiver makes it tough because there's so many different things.
So how many rings has Brady?
Gosh, he's got 7.
See, it's hard to deny him not top player.
Yeah, like best ever.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree. It was Jerry Rice, but this is before Brady won with Tampa Bay.
yeah, I don't know how it couldn't be.
And that's the win in Tampa Bay is to me the one that kind of put that nail in because it's easy to say, oh, you got Belichick, whatever.
Man, he showed he could do it.
But you leave and you go to Tampa and you just win it your first year there, then that's saying something.
Now, what's the deal with Brown? What was his whole throwing his jersey and pads off? Is he crazy? I guess he is. He's got something wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. But everybody else out there has been hit too, so that's a bad excuse.
Well, he took that real cheap shot.
Well, but there's been a lot of people
It never has been the same.
shots.
That guy from the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe that because there's too many other people that's been hit like that don't act like that. You know what I mean? Had their freaking faces tore off. Ronnie Lott didn't ever act like that.
Well, I saw a timeline of things,
you know what I'm saying?
Of crazy things he'd done before that hit and after. It's pretty remarkable.
It just affects.
It's like 1 to now it's 20.
It affects everybody, I guess, differently. Yeah, because there's been, but on the aspect side that there's been thousands of people with their faces tore off that didn't act like that. Then you have a few outliers. I think some of it's just. I think it's just his attitude. Just kind of how he just kind of looks and how he acts about life, and his marital situation changed during that time too with his girlfriend, and I think that had a lot to do with it, and his list of friends, and
And
people can change, unfortunately, sometimes for the worse.
Yeah,
and I tell people all the time, my kids, they loved Antonio Brown. So it was when he did that last year, I was like, man, how am I going to explain that to Brady?
He's good, man.
But I tell people he really, I follow him on social media stuff. He's different, but when you look at his timeline of stuff when he did that. Yeah. And then they release his first album. He does rap stuff now, and you're like, how much of this is planned in advance that he's trying? Because
get clout.
It works for him on the rap side of things. It might have hurt him in football, but his other endeavor it really helped him on, and it's so crazy.
Well, I remember.
Bad news is still news.
Exactly, and that's kind of how it's been with him. Even bad publicity is still publicity for him. So
that sticks with you as a kid. I still remember being a kid. Or young man, and Bobby Bonilla, you know who Bobby is.
Yeah.
Always getting into it with reporters, threatened to whip one.
He always did.
Then Albert Bell played for Cleveland, threw a ball and hit a fan in the chest one time. He was heckling him he was an alcoholic and had gone to recovery. He's in the outfield and the fan obviously said, won't you go back to rehab? So he takes the ball and throws it, hits him square in the chest. And that didn't.
And
I think he got suspended. I always remember that. It stuck with me.
Yeah, that was when he did that. It was. My God, my kid loved it. I was like, crap. How do I explain this now?
He's throwing.
A lot of these guys can remember. I remember Roberto Alomar spitting in the guys. He was great, but all I remember about him is spitting in that guy's face.
Like Brown was like throwing furniture off the balcony.
No.
At his some apartment, he was at. I seen the news that day. I was like, oh my God, man, what's wrong with this guy?
And I don't know. Heck, another team may give him a chance. I just don't see it.
If you can't play with Tom,
I think that one.
He was doing well.
I thought he was.
He was doing really well, and that was.
And he wasn't.
That was to me. That was really. That's a big loss for him. I know they try not to act like it's that big of a deal and move on, but that was
3 good receivers, didn't you?
He was a big deal.
I hate that.
Yeah.
What else you got, Dean? You want to share some? Dean's got some special stuff about Gaylesville.
Go over this Gaylesville stuff.
Yeah. Let me kill this in right here, and we'll do the next podcast. People, we're going to switch gears. This next part's going to be.
I got to put my glasses.
He's got to get his glasses on, so we're going to switch over. The next part 2 here will be Summer of Greats, new thing we're doing here for the Dean's List.
Yeah.
This week we're doing Gaylesville. Since Kolby's here, we're going to do that. So we'll switch gears and y'all get over there and probably be about a little 10-minute spot. Okay.
Yeah.
Save. Let's see. COA's coach. Okay. I'll do that. And we're going to add this.
You ain't got glasses yet, do you?
I had LASIK eye surgery, so I probably should have had glasses at this point, but that eye surgery saved me.
No, yeah.
See, unfortunately, mine was, he said if I had even had surgery, you're still going to have to wear glasses. They won't be as bad. And I was like,
Really?
wow.
I had mine after my sophomore year of college. Changed everything. I mean, how I hit a baseball before that, I don't know.
Yeah, that hurt me my senior year. I just got to where I couldn't see the ball, man. Yeah. I mean, but I was born with bad eyes.
Telling me, hey, pick up the spin. I'm like, yeah, I don't see
Mostly
it.
not close. I mean, I ain't through that easy. You know.
After I had surgery, I knew what all the coaches were talking about all the time. I was like, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like.
I wish I could. All right, let's see. All right, next part. We've got the Dean's List rocking and going on. Coach Brannon's in the house. We're going to hang out just for a few more minutes. We're going to get out of here, let everybody go have dinner, see their families, and everybody get up early in the morning. Hit it again, and we'd like to thank again Corey, the Colbert Law Firm, for sponsoring this special edition of the Matt and Todd Show here on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Applecast. There's no doubt we couldn't do it without our local sponsors, especially Corey. Get to know him. He's a big part of that over there. It just helps out a ton. So we appreciate him for being a special sponsor of today's show. Now, without further ado, the Dean's List is at the door. And Dean, carry off into this. It's this the Summer of Greats. So we're going to start this week. Next week will be all for Father's Day. All fathers go enjoy. Go outside and play ball with you boys. And if your father's not there, and hey, come by here, we'll throw a ball in the yard with you here. I don't care. So Dean's going to tear off into, these are a few teams from Gaylesville, some historic teams, and we're going to talk about a few of them.
The last 50 years.
First installment of the Dean's List of 2022.
Before, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
All right, just talking about Gaylesville teams, former Gaylesville teams that were great. Give some recognition to those guys. All right, 1970, Gaylesville went 10-2, finished third in the state in football. Both losses to Ohatchee. Back then, only 8 teams went to the state playoffs.
Yes.
You had to be in the top 8. Pretty tough, isn't it?
Now, good luck.
You had to be ranked in the top 8.
That's tough.
Yeah, so they won one game and lost to Ohatchee in the semifinals, barely. All right, some players on there, and you'll know some of these names, Matt. Larry Ray, Ronnie Burt.
All right.
George Mobbs, Ricky Chumler, Paul Peace.
Oh, Paul. Yeah, Michael said. You know Michael, the Cole Peace.
You know Aunt Mandy Walker.
I do.
Her dad. Yep, that's Mandy's dad.
Larry Stone, Ricky Black.
I know Ricky Black. You know
Howard Mackey. J.W. Myrick.
Mr. Meyer, our ag teacher at Cedar Bluff.
He was our ag teacher.
Oh, boy, he could swing the wood.
Howard Mackey, Bobby Chisholm, Bob McCorder, Billy Carvin. All right, here's some of the stats, man. Larry Ray threw for 1,300 yards. That's in 1970. So all this, nobody threw the ball back
throw the ball. That's not, when we get into this stuff, we find out.
That's not true. People act like nobody threw the ball.
They didn't score the basketball back in the yes, they did. The Bulls and Lakers first game was 123 to 124.
That's
Jordan's first year was magic. It's not.
That nobody threw back then.
Yeah.
Larry Ray threw for 1,300 yards. Burt rushed for 1,800.
Wow.
Pretty good. Carmen rushed for 700. The 2 receivers had 1,000 yards receiving, not a piece, but together. And the coach was Weldon Parrish. And technically, that is the in the modern era, that is the best team in Gaylesville history. I mean, they finished third in the state.
Those are some names you can carry with you back to work. Hey, you heard about Ronnie Burt? Let me tell you about Ronnie Burt. And they'll be like, wait a minute, these guys come over here and he knows about Ronnie Burt.
Yeah. All right, 11-1 in 75. I want y'all to listen to some of these stats here. They got beat by Rambert in the second round. Back then, 16 teams went. You had to win the region. They got beat by Rambert, who won the state championship, and only got beat by a touchdown. They finished 5th in the state. They had a guy named Johnny Mac Dupree, Ricky Wheeling, and Dale and Randy Dodd were the only 4 names I got off.
Now that's Shane's.
You know Shane Dodd.
He'll be helping you. That's his dad. Right.
All right, and I've read this. I found this. Dupree rushed for 2,900 yards.
Now, he just went in the Hall of Fame. He was the one that's inducted over here.
2,900. That's the county record for yards rushing. Dale Foster was their coach, and the only game they lost was the state champion by 6 points. All right, 1980, 9-1-1. They lost one game to Madison Academy in the first round of the playoffs.
Wait a minute. Madison Academy.
Yeah.
Now they're a 4A powerhouse, right?
1A then.
Listen to this. Now, what year was this?
80.
Now you see where they've gone to.
Yeah, that's kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit. They tied Triumph 27-7. Now the story here was Triumph was up 27-7 at halftime. Gaylesville came back and tied them.
What about that Triumph?
Triumph. Yeah. They finished 9th in the state. They had Jeff Bullen, Steve Ray. You know Steve Ray, don't you? Do you know Steve Ray? You might. He delivers mail.
The Bullen coached at Cedar Bluff back.
Yes, he used to be. John Watwood, Rusty Mobbs, Jeff Gamble, Tommy Crane, Daniel Kovacs, John Steele. All right, Steve Ray, 2,100 yards passing. Pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bullen, 68 catches in the 1980. Nobody threw the ball back then.
These miss, man. That's why you hit the subscribe button right over here, guys. We keep you up to date on the real facts about high school football.
Watwood had 1,500 yards rushing and receiving and was the leading tackler. So that kind of does away with it. They can't nobody play both ways. So he led the team and tackles and was their running back.
What about that?
Jack, that's pretty impressive.
I love it seeing people play both ways. Love it.
And I also heard that on the basketball team now, I heard this, that Ray, Bullen, and Watwood combined averaged about 45 points a game. 50.
Averaged 45 to 50 a game. What? Wow. And that would have been, you said Bullen? Well, that'd been in the 80s then. 78, 79.
Yeah. And Jack Jones was their head coach. He used to run Bay Springs over here. He was their coach. And that's the three teams. So that's the 1970, 75, and 1980. All three finished in the top 10, had college players. You know, Bullen played at Jack State.
Yep.
I think that Dupree went somewhere. I think he went to West Alabama, which was Livingston back then.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Great teams. Oh, and that story about the 1980 team, they went to play Madison Academy. It was 21-16 at halftime, and it started pouring. They threw the ball. Bullen, everybody. I've had more than one person tell me this. They could do nothing. Neither team could do anything. That's how bad the rain. It just came a monsoon.
And they're playing Madison Academy
out there, and they got beat 21-16. They were getting beat 21-16 at the half, and that's the way it ended.
And now Madison Academy, we went there and watched one high school game, and they roll up in charter buses. They set out 16 tables full of, from Mama's potato salad and pecan pies to full-blown turkeys with stuff. And have you ever seen them set up?
It's impressive.
Yeah. I was like, well, man, you went to watch somebody visit Auburn. No, yes, it was a state high school game. Remember?
They won one game we went to, 70-33.
We parked over
high
there.
School championship.
And we was waiting on the bus to come pick us up. And then in Auburn, you know how they'll come pick you up in there and you go. Dude, Madison Academy rolled in over there. I mean, like they own the place.
Yeah.
They ain't messing around.
No, they were good too.
Yeah.
One year they won in all three sports. All three major men's
baseball,
sports.
basketball, football.
Yes.
Yeah, that don't happen a lot.
Yeah.
That's pretty special.
Don't happen a lot.
Yeah. That's not happening much at all.
Yeah. All right. We'll let him get out here and go be with his family. We very much appreciate you coming by. And
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. We want you to better get your name out there and let people know who you are. And he's just a guy. Parents, you can talk to Coach Brannon, and we'll try to make things happen. And he's going to do a good job over there. Young, enthusiastic, and cares about the kids. And just being around him, you can tell that's what he's the number one thing. Yes, he's trying to make sure that he leaves a good impression on them. From what I gather from being around him most of his life and knowing him, and they'll win some games. And I think with him being younger, he's going to bring some enthusiasm to the game. There's going to be some kids play that maybe hadn't played before, And that's what you want. I'm sure Coach Knapp will be glad to have him on the sidelines a little bit. I know it's kind of busy.
Or do 3.
Yeah, oh my God, it's just nearly impossible. So
those days are over. They used to.
Yeah, but everybody's not, Danny Brown.
But never.
He coached everything: baseball, basketball, football.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he was our PE teacher when I was a kid, and it's just
he didn't coach. The only one I don't remember him doing is baseball, but he did.
Coach Lovelace did the
team, and he had the A team in basketball, and he was a varsity football coach. And I don't know that he had a lot of help on the football field.
In 1983, though,
Yeah. I think somebody helped him. Doug Palmer helped him.
Yes.
I think Mr. Lovelace, Mr. Evans.
Mr. Lovelace did.
Craig Hall. You remember Craig Hall?
Yes. But Glenn, man, he did. He would when he built a baseball field. When I played, we changed like at the school. We didn't have no.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, we appreciate it. And again, good luck to Coach Brannon this year. And I'll be around at football, and I'm sure I'll see you around. Probably this week, I'm going to try to come by some more. I'm going to be at Spring Garden in the morning. I'm going to be out there early, go see Coach Howard and the guys. And
later in the week, go by. Maybe Cedar Bluff.
Thursdays, Cedar Bluff Center, they'll be open. Went by and seen Coach Kelly them other day. Been to see Sandrock, and so hey guys, football season is college football is like 80 days, 81 days away.
It's not far, is it?
And this was show number 141, guys. What about that?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. This weekend in Alabama, Daniel Langham, 4-star quarterback, Brandon Enos, wide receiver, Jahal Hurley, a 5-star defensive back, Bay Job, 4-star edge rusher, and Malik Bryant, a 4-star linebacker. Those are your visits this weekend on the campus at Tuscaloosa for some inside information I got down there. Bama had one of the biggest recruiting weekends anywhere around. Quarterback Ty Simpson's already there from Geneva County, and the kid running back, the Henderson guy from Tennessee.
Oh, wait.
Yes. He played at Tennessee up at Westview.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the one from Geneva County.
Yes, he's from that's the Ty Simpson guy. And then the athlete guy that we watched play state game from Buford, Isaiah Bond. You ever heard about him? Isaiah Bond?
I don't think so.
And you get bored, like when you're not doing nothing, like the 20 hours a day that you're working. Because one of those hours when you're not sleeping laying in bed, I'm going to look up Isaiah Bond. That's what Big Matt said. Look, my God, man. You just have to
get in at midnight. What's the first? He's going to go.
Isaiah Bond. He's going to look at it. Man, we appreciate you. Athletes. We appreciate you, Kolby. Thank you for coming.
Thank y'all for having me.
Get out of here, guys. We're going to end it right there. We love you and we thank you, everybody. And as always, keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. And we'll catch you guys through the week. I'll be out at Spring Garden in the morning.
We will not be on next week.
No, we won't be. Then the week after, though, will be the Sunday after Media Day,
yes.
June the 25th at 12 o'clock. Be at Easy Street. Be there, Kolby, or be square.
All right. Sounds good.